My trading group has 1,702 members. I want to give a few shout outs to my trading group. CBC, thank you so much. I'm up $13,000 this week. Your group's amazing. I made $47,000 in April because of your setups. This person's up 2,400, 1,500, 647%. This person doubled my money after a phone call that we had just yesterday. This person said, I woke up and I had 73% gains in data. Thank you. I woke up with 58% gains while I was sleeping. Another $1,000. That's $4,000 in 7 days. I've got a cryptocurrency trading group. I've got 6 chat groups where everybody's calling out breakouts, posting charts, working together to trade this market. I've got 41 videos in a playlist. If you don't know anything about trading at all, nothing, you can watch these videos. You'll be making profitable trades. Number one reason why people join my trading group is I post profitable trading setups every single day, and we've been killing it. If you guys want to join the cryptocurrency trading group, you want to pay in crypto, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. I'll get you set up and in the group today. You pay for 6 months in crypto, you get a 20% discount. You pay for the year in crypto, you get an additional month for free and a 30% discount. If you do want to pay with a card month to month on a monthly basis, you can do so. There's a Patreon link that's in the description. This is Tezos, up 72%. You can see here's the setup posted. Here's 52% out of link. Again, bought the breakout down here. Here's the setup. Here's Ethereum, 57% gains out of Ethereum. Here's the setup. Bitcoin Cash broke out 60% gains over time. I want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about everything crypto daily. Before we jump into this video, I want to ask you to smash the like button. Trying to get a like spike going. 1,000 likes a video. That's the goal. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I'm going to make sure and keep you up to date daily on everything in the cryptocurrency space. It's going to make sure you're very successful in this market. Jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, sideways with reddish undertones. Overall market cap of cryptocurrency, $246 billion. Bitcoin is at 88.41. This is a Bitcoin daily chart. It's the weekend right now, so there hasn't been a whole lot going on in the market. Altcoins have been pretty flat, actually. There's overhead resistance about 9,200. Bitcoin hasn't been able to break above. CME futures closed at 88.40. Those will open again after a few hours, and we can see if there's any type of gap, but at this point, probably not anything significant. The big picture, like we've been talking about, the RSI, the lines, the vertical lines here show levels where the RSI has been extremely overbought, and Bitcoin has seen a pullback on those occasions, pretty decent size pullbacks. Okay, so based on the RSI being overbought, you got possible bearish divergence. If the price action doesn't break out and push to the upside, this bearish divergence could be confirmed. That means potential downside. The MACD right now is starting to curve lower. So again, Bitcoin needs a bounce to avoid these bearish scenarios. The price action, at the end of the day, it's this simple. The price action is at the top of this falling wedge, falling broadening wedge, right? So there's not a whole lot of room to run unless Bitcoin breaks out to the upside. Now look back here. This happened in the run up of 2019. When Bitcoin ran to 14,000, you see you have these extremely huge long wicks. With the halving hype, something like this is potentially in the cards where you see a quick parabolic Fomo rally where everybody just starts throwing money in this market irrationally, especially retail, right? Bitcoin broke out of this rising wedge to the upside and started to form a triangle. As long as this low is confirmed, this is a bullish pennant at this point. If this breaks out to the upside, we could see 10,100. Again, a break lower, and you're looking at a move to about 8,500. If you get a break lower than that, level by level, we just have to watch it. We're not trying to predict the future. Trading is not predicting. If we break inside this pattern again, we could see 8,000, even 7,700. Now, if we do get this pullback, then it gives the indicators some time to cool off. And, we'll talk about some bounce ideas going forward in the future. So there's a bit of a parabolic type price curve here. Essentially, again, level by level, you just want to see if Bitcoin has another explosive move to the upside. If you're already in Bitcoin, you know, the key is just set your stop loss down here. Let the price action decide for you. That's the beauty of stop losses. If you're holding a position, if it goes parabolic and you see this huge price rise out of Bitcoin, you know, you'll want to think about and consider taking some profits. Why? Because everybody else will be doing that as well. This is a Bitcoin 30-minute chart. We've been watching this this weekend. You have a rising wedge. The high right here, again, is still a lower high than the previous high. You also have a falling wedge on the RSI. RSI is close to oversold, so looking for some type of short-term bounce. But we don't want to see is, it looks like Bitcoin got rejected by the 200 simple moving average. And at this point, we you know, potentially we're in a very short-term downtrend, because this is the 30-minute chart. It's a very short-term chart, so this won't even matter. If you come out to the daily chart, none of this even shows up, right? Unless it's significant. Really concentrate on the daily candle closes. If you imagine one of these candles is 24 hours, which is 48 of these candles, of these 30-minute candles, okay? So if you took 48 of these candles and combined them into one, you would be looking at the same information that's given on one candle. Sometimes this is just too much data and it's noise, right? And so unless you're trading lower term time frames, I mean, the moves initially start on the smaller time frames, and so that's why it's important. A lot of people trade with leverage, and that's also another reason why you can make, you know, if you're 10x and your profits off 2 or 3% gains, you're making 20 and 30% on leveraged trades. But for most people, this smaller time frames are just a bunch of, it's stressful. Like, don't get too caught up in these micro movements of Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, it's this simple. Bitcoin needs to put in a high above 9,400 on a higher term time frame. 4 hour would be a good start, right? At that point, then this bullish scenario will definitely be a lot stronger. This is something I want you to consider. If you can imagine, like, this looks almost identical to Bitcoin. You've got, remember, we had this huge sell-off and then a bounce, and then essentially this would have been a rising wedge that Bitcoin's in. We'll just take a look at it. So you got a big, huge sell-off and then a rising wedge, which is typically bearish pattern, but this throws a lot of people off. This is called a bump and run, where you get the prevailing trend, the price action basically bumps parabolically, and it did so. And then you essentially put in a top near the previous top, and then you get the sell-off. Really, the biggest indicator of this continuation to the downside would not only be the breakdown of the trend line, which is important for an idea as far as stop losses go, but here you can draw a rising wedge. So again, that breaks to the downside, there's continuation to the downside. So it's not about, you're not going to nail the top of this. It's really just about mitigating losses and not riding these retraces down to the bottom again. This is Chromia I want to talk to you about. So this is a coin that's being voted on for Binance, being added to Binance. And why this is important, it's got a pretty nice setup. So, you know, a lot of people would say, hey, they've got a good project, they got a good team, and that's great. Potentially they do. But what I'm worried about is how can we make money on trading this situation, right? How can we, that's why we're here. So essentially SWFTC versus CHR voting starts in 2 days, and one of these coins is going to get added to Binance. Okay, and so what's important to consider is the Binance effect. Like in Trading Group, we killed COTI, C-O-T-I, and then it got added to Binance, and it ended up overall, like I think we were up like 200 or 300% before it got added to Binance. And this is another one I just want to put on your radar. It's on Kucoin right now. If you're not using Kucoin, you can, there's a link in the description. It does support the channel. You can make an account on Kucoin. They have a bunch of these, like DGB, which I missed because it wasn't on Binance. I just can't cover this market as well as I'd like to, because it's just, here I am, me, right? And so that's why always reach out to me. Like if you see these coins on some of these smaller exchanges, reach out to me. And there were people, to be fair, there were people in the comments that say, hey, Chris, check out DGB. And I'm just like in my zone, like how can I freaking get the most possible done in a day, and I still never have enough time to get what I need to done. And so I'm just saying, as a team effort, the reason why this community is so profitable. The reason why this channel is so popular is because, you know, we're working together. And I want to hear your feedback and input on any of these ideas and projects going forward, especially as this bull market is underway. Like, you guys are able to follow some of these small, brand new projects potentially better than I am, you know. And so I'm reaching out to you, say, hey, like, I want valid ideas here. I don't want you pumping your coins. Like, that's pointless, right? I want valid ideas like, hey, this is going to happen. This is why the team is strong. This is why the project's strong. This is not about, let me dissect the blockchain. Let me figure out what coin's the best on a fundamental level. What coin is going to be adopted by mainstream the first. This is about what everybody else is going to perceive is going to be successful. And then you essentially want to be in those projects, because if everybody else thinks it, they're going to move the price of these coins. And so this might be a situation. This is potentially a news pump idea. May or may not play out. You know, obviously it has to be voted and win this community coin on Binance. But let me just show you the chart. So this is CHR USDT. And you've got this nice rounded bottom, okay, which is very bullish sign. If you can imagine, the bears are winning, bears are winning, bears are winning, bears are winning, and then the bulls start winning because these lows are starting to round to the upside, okay? You also have this inverse head and shoulders bullish pattern. People are looking to buy the break. This is not, Chris, do not buy this coin right now. Do not buy this coin right now. If you do not know how to set a stop loss, you do not know how to buy a breakout, ignore all of this, right? The idea is buy the breakout of this resistance level, because that tells you when things change. Right? Look at all these fake outs. But again, you sell the top, take profits. There's more to it than, hey, buy and hodl, right? But another thing I want to point out to you is, so you got this bullish setup with some news, right? Pair those two together and the potential for explosive move to the upside is there. So just to help you guys understand this as well, is how important the 200 simple moving average is as far as these altcoins and the price action that occurs afterwards. All these green boxes I'm going to talk to you about. So any coin out there, whatever it is, this happens to be the same coin, CHR USDT. Whenever the price action breaks above the 200, you see a significant price rise, okay? Sometimes it'll come back down and try to retest it, which it did here, and it'll fail, but again, it breaks above the 200. If you would have opened trades based on this one idea, price action breaks above the 200, you're in profits. Breaks above the 200, you're in profits. Breaks above the 200, you're in profits. Breaks, actually came down, retested, and exploded. You're in profits. Came back down under the 200, broke above it, boom. Boom. Broke above the 200. Explosive gains. Came back down, broke above the 200. Look at, you got parabolic gains every time this happens. You'd be up considerably. And this 200 simple becomes a catalyst for these breakout moves higher. Why? Because bots buy on this. People program bots. Bots trade this. We trade this. Technical analysis takes into account this happens. And that's why it works so well. Call it a self-fulfilling prophecy if you want. Call it whatever you want. We're here to make money. And that's what these ideas are meant to do and meant to help you with. Okay, so I just want to make sure and cover this. Again, it's all about the Binance vote for the community coin here. Bitcoin dominance. This is Bitcoin dominance daily chart. These altcoins will run, these green boxes, when Bitcoin dominance pulls back, you get these amazing altcoin seasons, right? Well, Bitcoin dominance is climbing. So as long as it gets rejected here, your altcoins are going to take off as soon as this Bitcoin dominance retraces, okay? Right now, altcoins have been flat. They haven't been that amazing. Bitcoin futures. Gap was filled previously. Futures are closed right now. That'll open in a few hours later on. Will there be a new gap? Maybe, but it won't be very big at this point. We just have to see what happens. This is a fear and greed index, and this has kept me kind of bullish previously because there was so much fear in the market. Finally, it's starting to kind of get into that mid-range, but people are still fearful. So will we see a pullback? Like these coins, the Bitcoin likes to sell off when everybody's greedy. Now, are we going to get short-term pullbacks? Yes, but on these parabolic run-ups. And so this is kind of has me thinking like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we could pull back, but people are not greedy enough. The idea is buy fear, sell greed, right? It's that simple. Crypto community shudders as CNBC predicts bullish Bitcoin run. The worst possible thing that can happen in crypto is CNBC predicts a huge bullish market, because they're always wrong. Hopefully this is the one time, and maybe they've been right a couple of times, but like when CNBC, this is like, you want to counter trade the herd, and this typically represents the herd. Yes, Bitcoin bull run is coming. Yes, 501 days after the last halving sell-off, we saw huge upside for Bitcoin, 4,000% gains. Will this happen again? Yes, I see. We're going to have huge gains in the future, but short-term sell-off, is it going to happen? This volume trend suggests Bitcoin's about to see massive volatility. So Bitcoin's recent uptrend appears to be far more than just a fleeting relief rally, as data suggests it's been driven by retail investors. And like I talked to you about, I have so many people that are joining the group that have never bought Bitcoin before, which is a smart idea, because I mean, you want to get educated before you dump a bunch of money in this market. But you know, I see this firsthand for sure. There's a bunch of new hard money, they call it, coming into the market. Just to kind of go over this halving. So this is the last halving. We talked about this. We had a huge 80% run up, 30% pullback, 15% run up. And so then a lot of people were looking for this halving sell-off that happened after the last halving. But what is important to consider is what happened the first halving. This is the first Bitcoin halving. It didn't have a significant sell-off, maybe 5%, 4.3%. The data set here, we have 2 occasions where this ever happened before, right? And so it's hard to really make a good generalized statement as far as what to expect based on 2 occurrences ever. And the important thing is here, you really just want to trade what you see on the charts. At the end of the day, you're going to see most of your success just based on that idea. And so, you know, I'll keep you guys updated, keep your stops in place. Everything's going to be amazing. The future is golden over time. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.